Dear students, please open your textbook before you start listening. Underline important lines and mark difficult words. Happy listening and happy learning by Rana Admane. Thank you. Class 10th CBSE NCERT books Subject Science Chapter number 4 Carbon and its compound. Page number 58. In the last chapter, we came to know many compounds of importance to this. In this chapter, we will study about some more interesting compounds and their properties. Also, we shall be learning about carbon, an element which is of immense significance to us in both its elemental form and in the combined form. Activity 4.1. Make a list of 10 things you have used or consumed since the morning. Second, compile this list with the list made by your classmate and then sort the items into the adjacent table. Third, if there are items which are made up of more than one material, put them into both the relevant column of the table. The table is given. 3 columns are there. In first column heading, things made of metal. Second column heading, things made of glass or clay. Third column heading, others. Look at the items that come in the last column of the above table, filled by you. Your teacher will be able to tell you that most of them are made up of compound of carbon. Can you think of a method to test this? What would be the product if a compound containing carbon is burnt? Do you know of any test to confirm this? Food, clothes, medicines, books, or many of the things that you listed are all based on this versatile element carbon. In addition, all living structures are carbon based. The amount of carbon present in the earth crust and in the atmosphere is quite meager. The earth crust has only 0.02% carbon in the form of mineral like carbonates, hydrogen, carbonates, coal and petroleum. And the atmosphere has 0.03% of carbon dioxide. In spite of this small amount of carbon available in nature, the importance of carbon seems to be immense. In this chapter, we will know about the properties of carbon which make carbon so important to us. 4.1 Bonding in carbon. The covalent bond. In the previous chapter, we have studied the properties of ionic compound. We saw that ionic compound have high melting point and boiling point and conduct electricity in solution or in the molten state. We also saw how the nature of bonding in ionic compound explains these properties. Page number 59. Saw how the nature of bonding in ionic compounds explains these properties. Let us now study the properties of carbon compounds. Most carbon compounds are poor conductor of electricity as we have seen in chapter 2. From the data given in table 4.1 on the boiling and melting point of the carbon compounds, we find that these compounds have low melting and boiling points as compared to ionic compounds. Chapter 3. We can conclude that the forces of attraction between the molecules are not very strong since these compounds are largely non-conductor of electricity. We can conclude that the bonding in these compounds does not give rise to any ions. In class 9, we learned about the combining capacity of various elements and how it depends on the number of valence electron. Let us now look at the electronic configuration of carbon. The atomic number of carbon is 6. What would be the distribution of electron in various shells of carbon? How many valence electron will carbon have? We know that the reactivity of element is explained as their tendency to attain a completely filled outer shell, that is, attain noble gas configuration. Elements forming ionic compound achieve this by either gaining or losing electron from the outermost shell. In the case of carbon, it has 4 electrons in its outermost shell and needs to gain or lose 4 electrons to attain noble gas configuration. If it were to gain or lose electron, 1, it could gain 4 electrons forming C4 minus anion, but it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 protons to hold on to 10 electrons, that is 4 extra electrons. Second, it could lose 4 electrons forming C4 plus cation, but it would require a large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons, leaving behind a carbon cation with 6 protons in its nucleus holding on to just 2 electrons. Carbon overcomes this problem by sharing its valence electron with other atom of carbon or with atom of other element. Not just carbon, but many other elements form molecules by sharing electron in this manner. The shared electron belong to the outermost shell of both the atoms and lead to both atoms attaining the noble gas configuration before going on to compounds of carbon. Let us look at some simple molecules formed by the sharing of valence electrons. The simplest molecule formed in this manner is that of hydrogen. As you have learnt earlier, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Hence, hydrogen has 1 electron in its K shell and it requires 1 more electron to fill the K shell. So, 2 hydrogen atoms share their electron to form a molecule of hydrogen H2. This allows each hydrogen atom to attain the page number 60. To attain the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas, helium, which has 2 electrons in its K shell. We can depict this using dots or crosses to represent valence electrons. Figure 4.1. The shared pair of electrons is said to constitute a single covalent bond between the 2 hydrogen atoms. A single covalent bond is also represented by a line between the 2 atoms as shown in figure 4.2. The atomic number of chlorine is 17. What would be its electronic configuration and its valency? Chlorine forms a diatomic molecule Cl2. Can you draw the electron dot structure for this molecule? Note that only the valence shell electron need to be depicted. In the case of oxygen, we see the formation of a double bond between 2 oxygen atoms. This is because an atom of oxygen has 6 electrons in its L shell. The atomic number of oxygen is 8 and it requires 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So each atom of oxygen shares 2 electrons with another atom of oxygen to give us the structure shown in figure 4.3. The 2 electrons contributed by each oxygen atom give rise to 2 shared pair of electrons. This is said to constitute a double bond between the 2 atoms. Can you now depict a molecule of water showing the nature of bonding between 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms? Does the molecule have single bond or double bond? What would happen in the case of a diatomic molecule of nitrogen? Nitrogen has the atomic number 7. What would be its electronic configuration and its combining capacity? In order to attain an octet, each nitrogen atom in a molecule of nitrogen contributes 3 electrons, giving rise to 3 shared pairs of electrons. This is said to constitute a triple bond between the 2 atoms. The electron dot structure of N2 and its triple bond can be depicted as in figure 4.4. A molecule of ammonia has the formula NH3. Can you draw the electron dot structure for this molecule, showing how all four atoms achieve noble gas configuration? Will the molecule have single, double, or triple bond? Let us now take a look at methane, which is a compound of carbon. Methane is widely used as a fuel and is a major component of biogas and compressed natural gas (CNG). It is also one of the simplest compounds formed by carbon. Methane has a formula CH4. Hydrogen, as you know, has a valency of 1. Carbon is tetravalent because it has 4 valence electrons. In order to achieve noble gas configuration, carbon shares these electrons with 4 atoms of hydrogen as shown in figure 4.5. Such bonds, which are formed by the sharing of an electron pair between two atoms, are known as covalent bonds. Covalently bonded molecules are seen to have a strong bond within the molecule, but intermolecular forces are weak. This gives rise to the low melting and boiling point of these compounds. Since the electrons are shared between atoms and no charged particles are formed, such covalent compounds are generally poor conductors of electricity. Page number 61. Allotropes of carbon. The element carbon occurs in different forms in nature with widely varying physical properties. Both diamond and graphite are formed by carbon atoms. The difference lies in the manner in which the carbon atoms are bonded to one another. In diamond, each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, forming a rigid three-dimensional structure. In graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms in the same plane, giving a hexagonal array. One of these bonds is a double bond, and thus the valency of carbon is satisfied. Graphite structure is formed by the hexagonal arrays being placed in layers one above the other. More to know. These two different structures result in diamond and graphite having very different physical properties even though their chemical properties are the same. Diamond is the hardest substance known while graphite is smooth and slippery. Graphite is also a very good conductor of electricity unlike other non-metals that you studied in the previous chapter. Diamonds can be synthesized by subjecting pure carbon to very high pressure and temperature. These synthetic diamonds are small but are otherwise indistinguishable from natural diamonds. Fullerenes from another class of carbon allotropes. The first one to be identified was C60, which has carbon atoms arranged in the shape of a football. Since this looked like the geodesic dome designed by the US architect Buckminster Fuller, the molecule was named fullerene. Questions. What would be the electron dot structure of carbon dioxide which has the formula CO2? Question number 2. What would be the electron dot structure of a molecule of sulfur which is made up of 8 atoms of sulfur? Hint. The 8 atoms of sulfur are joined together in the form of a ring. Page number 62. 4.2. Versatile nature of carbon. We have seen the formation of covalent bond by the sharing of electron in various elements and compounds. We have also seen the structure of a simple carbon compound, methane. In the beginning of the chapter, we saw how many things we use contain carbon. In fact, we ourselves are made up of carbon compounds. The numbers of carbon compounds whose formulae are known to chemists was recently estimated to be in millions. This outnumbers by a large margin the compound formed by all the other elements put together. Why is it that this property is seen in carbon and no other element? The nature of the covalent bond enables carbon to form a large number of compounds. Two factors noticed in the case of carbon are: 1. Carbon has the unique ability to form bonds with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to large molecules. This property is called catenation. These compounds may have long chains of carbons, branched chains of carbon, or even carbon atom arranged in rings. In addition, carbon atom may be linked by single, double, or triple bond. Compounds of carbon, which are linked by only single bond between the carbon atoms, are called saturated compounds. Compounds of carbon having double or triple bond between their carbon atoms are called unsaturated compounds. No other element exhibits the property of catenation to the extent seen in the carbon compounds. Silicon forms compound with hydrogen which have chains of up to 7 or 8 atoms. But these compounds are very reactive. The carbon-carbon bond is very strong and hence stable. This gives us the large number of compounds with many carbon atoms linked to each other. Second, since carbon has a valency of 4, it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon or atom of some other monovalent element. Compounds of carbon are formed with oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine, and many other elements, giving rise to compounds with specific properties which depend on the element other than carbon present in the molecule. Again, the bond that carbon atom form with most other elements are very strong, making these compounds exceptionally stable. One reason for the formation of a strong bond by carbon in its small size. This enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pairs of electrons strongly. The bonds formed by elements having bigger atoms are much weaker. Thank you, students. Please listen twice for better understanding. Hope you liked the video and subscribe for upcoming videos.